For those of you who had questions about blocking using blocking wires, specifically for a crochet shawl, I wanted to give you an idea of how I would use blocking wires to block. This is specifically a very quick and dirty swatch that would replicate kind of how you would block the Sunset Diamond shawl. So I wanted to not make you sit through me putting through all these wires in. So I'm going to show you first how it would look once all the wires are in, and then I'm going to show you how I put them in. So I would have one wire that is going all the way across the top. If you have a wire that's long enough to do that, that's awesome. If not, you can do multiple wires and run one to a, about 3/4 of its length. You want some sticking out on either side. And then you want to start the next one before the first one ends and just kind of run them across, overlapping if you have to use more than one. So then I would have a second wire at the edge of my solid sections, because those aren't going to get blocked very much, so we want to keep those in place. A third wire at the other edge of the lace section at the beginning of the next solid section. And then, so each of those sections is obviously going to be more than one lace section, but basically at the end of one solid, at the beginning of the next solid, just so that you have a way to help pull that lace apart. And then a final wire at the end to use on the picots to pull those out. Okay, and then I also have a wire here going down the spine, and I think when I block mine, I will probably have a wire on either side of the spine. So I'll also show you how I did that. Okay, so let me pull all these out here and just show you little bits at a time of what I would do to put these wires in. So let me zoom in a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so when I do my top edge from one end to the other, I do have a blocking wire that goes all the way across. So basically I'm going to start all the way on one end, and I'm going to go in through the very end of that last stitch from the front to the back. And then I'm going to bring my wire behind that stitch and go from the back to the front at the bottom of that stitch. Then I'm going to push my wire up above the next stitch and go from front to back, and then come around the back of that stitch from back to front. And I'm basically going to weave it back and forth across each row, front to back, back to front, all the way up or across, basically. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You just basically want to make sure that it stays at this top edge, pretty close to the top edge. The other thing that you want to avoid splitting stitches if you can. And it's fine to bunch the stitches up, and just kind of when you're weaving back and forth, you can bunch them up on the blocking wire, as long as you know you have enough wire. So I would spread the shawl all the way out and measure, and you want to make sure that you have a wire that is that length plus, I'd say 6 inches, conservatively. You want to have plenty of room to stretch without the ends of the wire coming off. So you don't want to accidentally pull it off the end. So again, if you have multiple wires, you want to have a good decent amount overlapping of each wire, just so that you have plenty of space that nothing's going to come off. So once it's all bunched up on the wire and you have it all the way across, you can then pull it out and pin it in place wherever you need to hold it. So when you're blocking the Sunset Diamond shawl, you're going to want to have basically all your wires in place, and then you're going to be pinning and then repinning and pinning and repinning, because as you're pinning each section, something else is going to shift, and you're just going to want to kind of get everything situated little parts at a time, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's the top wire. To do the solid section that's before you get to a lace section, I would actually go through the close to the tops of the stitches, not the parts of the stitches that are going sideways, not these, but let's see if I can get this in frame. the top loop, the top vertical loop, is what I would go through with the blocking wire. And again, you just want to take care that you're not splitting your stitches with the wire. So hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to gently thread it through each section. Okay. Until I have, basically all the way across. And that's just going to be able to hold that part of the solid section down when you block the lace out. So then for the next solid section after the lace, I'm actually going to go through the vertical loops that are at the very bottom of those stitches. Same thing, just go through real gently. If you meet resistance, back up a little bit and just kind of, I twist a little bit, and that kind of helps the wire feed through without splitting any of the stitches. And just kind of slide it through. And then when you have it through a full section, that's kind of your other solid point that you can tug on to spread out those lace stitches. For the spine, because there are 2 chain stitches across the spine, like I said, I will probably do 2 wires on the spine, 1 for either side, just so that I can really straighten it out. And again, my swatch is quick and dirty. It's not accurate, so please don't use this as your guide. But I would come through that very bottom, which is actually my magic loop, and then I'm just going to pull the stitches at the spine apart a little bit to find that chain, and I'm going to go through the center of that. So the reason I go through the center as opposed to, you could, come up from the bottom, go over the next, and just kind of weave it back and forth over and under the spine stitches. But I'm not a fan of the way that it lifts certain sections, which is why I end up going through just straight through the middle of those stitches so I pull those apart, find the little hole from the chain, and go through there. And then once you have your spine wire in, you can then use it to straighten out each side, if that makes sense. And then finally, for the picot edge, that's probably the easiest part to get on the wire, is you're just going to find the loop that's up at the top. And I like to try to make sure that my wire is going through 2 sets of two pieces of yarn. So you can see, I hope you can see, I've got the edge of one chain, and so a loop from one of the chains and another loop here. So there are 2 loops going over the wire. That's just my preference. I find that sometimes if I just get 1 loop in there, it can, when you're tightening, it can tug that abnormally and make, it's basically cinching part of the stitch lower down under the wire in a weird way. So I like to have two loops on my wire if possible. So then you're basically going to thread through each of the edges of the picot edges all the way around. And then once you have those all, bunched up on the wire again, you can spread them out and then pin your wire in place, or pin next to the stitches, basically pinning them into the shape that you want. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's something else that I can demonstrate that you're not understanding, and I will do my best. Thanks.